I'll just click yes, yeah.
Yep.
Have you got the sheet?
Yep.
Beautiful, mate. Good job. So is it coming through this one or that one?
So you're talking on this one, I'm filming on this one for YouTube.
Hello, anybody?
Are you there? How are you, mate? Is that Eileen?
Hi,
Is that Eileen?
It is Eileen. How are you?
Good, thanks.
How's the head?
It's recovering. Steady
Dear me.
away, steady away.
Yeah.
Oh, Matt.
Are we ready to go?
Matt Shaw's on here, gents. Must be something.
Yeah.
Must be something big.
Are we ready to go?
Trophy winners now, Adrian.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
All good. Hey, Martin. Hey, how are you? Aaron.
Not bad, Adrian. You're looking great in your leopard skin gear, mate. I assume that's now nailed on for the rest of the year, is it? Presumably.
Yeah. Underpants as well.
I won't ask you to show us those.
All right, guys. You want? I think that's everyone. So, does anyone want to start, Matt? Yeah.
You go, Trev.
Okay, well, I'll start. Okay, thanks very much for that.
You right, Tess?
Well, Adrian, obviously, congratulations once again.
Recording in progress.
Has everything settled down for you? How are you feeling now? Has the reality hit home?
Yeah, obviously an amazing an achievement by the whole team and the town in a really happy place and unbelievable scenes on Sunday there on the open top bus and the parade into town and just some magical moments that we'll forever remember and very grateful for. So, you know, we've had, we came in and just did a flush yesterday and Tuesday and we had our first session back today, so we're hardly on the field for an hour and we just got the captain's run to finish, but obviously had to try and have a toast for that Challenge Cup on our return to training yesterday, and we sat around and just talked about the important moments and memories that we had from that, and then had to move on from it to get ready to prepare for Catalans. So, you know, very grateful as mentioned that on this journey so far we've been we got what we deserve really. I think we've been working hard for that, you know, and it just brought a lot of love and life back into the town. So, you know, it's a real good buzz around here at the moment.
So, how hard though is it going to be to get your lads focused on Saturday in Catalan, a hugely important game for you, after the celebrations of last week?
Yeah, I think the semi-final against St Helens certainly was an emotional rollercoaster that week, and we got beat by Wigan quite convincingly, and that's the danger for this particular week. And we've addressed it as you do as a coach, and it's probably up to the players really to react to that. You know, we hopefully we've learnt the lesson from that semi-final with the emotional side on it. My experiences will say and show that you do hit a downer at some point. And if we do, I'm going to be okay with that, you know, but as long as we're all committed to the performance this week, we understand the importance of it in the sense of the Super League and the ladder and where it all sits. And, you know, we're a home game here. We haven't played at home for around 8 weeks. We're, you know, it'll be a sold out crowd. We're coming back to home after a Challenge Cup final win. The fans will be really happy. So there's a lot to cheer about. You know, the focus this week is obviously going to be on the players' mentality and mindset to make sure that we've got our feet back to on grounded and back in the professional mode of our preparation and the week leading into Catalans. But I'm not going to predict anything at this stage. We'll just see how we turn up and play, and then we'll react to the back of that.
So, okay, looking at Catalan, what do you make of Catalan this season?
Obviously, they've been the most consistent team so far in the competition. They've got great individuals right across the field, and they're in some pretty good form at the moment. So, you know, we've played them twice already this year and lost, but we've been in both games too. We feel that we're a chance here, and you know, it's an important. The 80-minute performance is really important for us, as in where we sit in the ladder. If we don't get the win, first place is out of reach, we feel, and that'll be the other side of the coin. Will be their talk about if they get this win. it'll more or less nearly just about guarantee him that first spot. So there's a lot on the table there, and there's a lot to play for. And with great experience through their players like Pearce and Michelaurum, Tompkins, if he plays, they'll certainly be up and ready for the game.
So what type of team will you be selecting this weekend? Will it be the same, or will you have to rest a few guys?
There may be a couple of changes. I've just got to get through this week and get right through the captain's run and make those tough decisions then. I don't need anyone coming into the game with injuries or sore muscles or parts, because it was a big performance last week and obviously a little bit of downtime after that. So we've got to go in with a fit team. So we'll give it up to captain's run, but I would assume there'll be a couple of small changes, yeah.
But it's no case of putting the queue in the rack. You're now going all out for whatever you can get for the rest of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an achievement, a massive milestone for the club. Obviously, the first time in 52 years that we've won this cup, and a bit surreal, really, thinking that we've come up from championship, winning the AB Sundex Cup as the curtain raiser last year, to being Challenge Cup holders now. It's an amazing story and very surreal. But having said that, we've been quite good during the season. Where we sit on the ladder, we've certainly given ourselves a chance to have a good crack at this come to the end. 6 games to go. We're in a position where we would have dreamt of accepting right at the start of the year. So, we don't want to just throw that away. No doubt there may be a lull for the next 2 or 3 weeks, but we'll manage that process either way, and from there we can try and build some momentum and finish strong.
You said some tough decisions on selection. Do I take it from that you've not got injury concerns? It's more about giving some of the players an opportunity to impress.
Yeah, what I mean by tough is some players maybe carrying a niggly injury, and rather than them saying that they want to play, the tough decision will be to say no, you're not playing at all. So on top of that, 1 or 2 other players may come into consideration. So just to try and get a few fresh faces in there. So we'll see how that goes. Obviously, Catalan and every other Super League club apart from Hull KR have had the week off, or 2 weeks really in preparation for this. So it's going to be, we understand that the magnitude of this game, but also the importance to perform well, get the win and stay in contention for that top 2 spots, but also to celebrate with our fans in our first home game since the Cup.
Final question for me. Obviously, you started the season as an unknown, really, up from the Championship, favourite to some to go straight down. Now you've won a trophy, you've got a huge target on your back. It's going to be a change of mentality from the teams playing you. Will you have to prepare differently when it comes to taking on those sides now?
We've got a really difficult 6-week game period coming up to finish the season, but most of the teams have that as well. So, like I said, I think we understand the position that we're in. We've worked very hard to be equal second, albeit with 2 other teams. And I think teams, when you look at the statistics of teams that have played against us, there've been high statistics to support the fact that they have come here to prepared to beat us as a club. So I don't think too much will change there. I think we probably would have earned a little bit more respect from some clubs, and that's okay as well. We'll just power on with who we are and the team we want to be, and just make sure we give ourselves an opportunity here to finish as high as we can with an opportunity to play semi-final rugby this year.
Cheers, thanks Adrian. See you Saturday.
Thanks, mate.
Adrian, I'll keep my bit short and sweet. Just on the lull, I think as you described it, how as a coach do you manage this period now then? Because I think everyone would accept that there is a possibility of that happening. How do you try and manage it so that your levels are on a upwards trajectory come, the last couple of games of the regular season, and obviously with an eye on the playoffs? I suppose it's a managing act almost.
Yeah, you've got to find it's a balancing act really of everything. You've got to try and freshen up your players and change up the way that my rotation has been working. Try and bring some players in that are fresh bodies to assist with on a week-to-week basis. Have a plan for the load that we do at training. Make sure that we back off at certain times and not train so much less, but not as long. So, we've got to find a balance for all of that. But having said that, and with my experiences here at winning something like this, it does take a little bit out of you. We're aware of that. We've addressed it as a group, and we might turn up here on Saturday and play our best game of the year. You know, I hope that happens, but it's highly unlikely. But we'll wait and see. You know, I think, you know, this team has certainly showed a lot of character and courage this year in everything that we've done, and it wouldn't surprise me if we turned up and played our best game. So, you know, all we can do is make sure we address the situation, and then it's over to the players really to get their attitudes right, to get the preparation and recovery right, because that's a big part of why we've been successful, and just, you know, unload on that 80 minutes on the weekends.
I know this is a question that coaches hate being asked, but I will ask it anyway. Do you get to a point, given where you are on the league table as well, and that you've almost got points in the bank, do you start picking games in the right, get this one, and sort of build your preparation around those games? Obviously that might mean not sacrificing games, but risk not being at optimum level for some particular games.
Yeah, I think every coach has some sort of plan in that kind of way. Not exactly that, but in certainly similar ways. For us, it's always been about us. And for example, you know, the week before Challenge Cup, Hull KR decided to rest 13 of their players. Well, we made a decision that we wanted to respect the Super League table, and where we sat there and go to Leeds with a strong team, get a good tough win, keep us in equal second spot, and then you know, hopefully get some momentum and some confidence from that. So I think that there'd be no difference with us moving forward, but we need to have a plan about, you know, how we can rest some of our players over the next 3 weeks. That's the goal, and then with the 3 weeks remaining, probably get back to who we've been, as in the rotations and plans. So, you know, we've got a bit of science behind that, and we have a plan with that. And you're right, but we'll see how that unfolds. And, you know, I think the important part about this particular week is it's a chance for us to particularly stay in that top two. You know, if we don't, anything can happen. It could end up 1, 2, 3, or 4. So if we don't win this week, it certainly won't be first spot.
Brilliant. Thanks, Adrian.
Thank you, mate.
Hi, Adrian. It's Aaron. Hope you're well.
Hey, mate. Good. You okay?
Yeah, good. Good. I think won the cup last weekend. Obviously, you put yourself in this incredible position where you got to a cup final, joined second in the league. Does winning last weekend take a little bit of pressure off what's to come for the rest of the season? Now, by that I mean, if you don't end up winning another trophy, it'll still be looked back on as a historic season. Can you go into it with a little bit less pressure now, do you think? No,
I think regardless of whether we won or lost it at Wembley, I think it's still a successful season for us in the sense of where we sit on the ladder and where we're going to finish up. And you're right, we do still have a row of games left where we can, you know, dictate where we finish. We're in control of where we finish now, you know, on that ladder, which is exactly the position we want to be in. You know, that was a bonus to make that Wembley final, and what it's done for us is just instill a little bit more belief and just, you know, just confidence everywhere in everything that we do. What we've got to be careful of doing is not resting on our laurels and thinking that we're happy with that, you know. But what happens is on every high there's always a down. You don't stay high for you know, weeks on end. So, you know, I have seen him train today, and we did lack a little bit of intensity, which is what we expected. So, you know, and that's why I'm saying with an open mind, you know, I'm okay with what happens this week, because I know that if we stick together as a group, which is what we've done all year, I think good things will come our way.
With that in mind, and with the possibility of a little bit of a hangover, what constitutes success from here on out in terms of the league? Then, what are you targeting? Is it top 4, top 2 first? What are you looking at as what would be sort of acceptable, successful?
Look, I think along the way at pre-season, if someone were to say to us, look, you're going to be sitting in equal second spot with 6 games to go, and you've won Challenge Cup, you'd think, well, imagine it. Could you imagine that? You know, and I think it's been a successful year for us to this point, regardless of what happens from here on in. But what we've been true to as a group is just taking that next step, and week by week, without looking too far ahead. Though we have short-term, medium, and long-term goals. But I think that I'm getting some players back from injury the last couple of weeks. So Jack Hughes has been back for 3 or 4 weeks. You know, Joe Wardle's now back for 2 weeks. Got Frankie Holton coming back soon. The squad's getting strong as we enter the back end of the season, so that's exciting for us, and it'll give us a bit of fresh legs in the team, and they just need time playing. But I think, I'm really excited about. I think if we can manage and keep in that top 4 there, I think we can give ourselves a real good chance at doing anything that we want to do.
Just finally, apologies for being a little bit mischievous, but no sooner have you won the cup than your name's been thrown up in reports in Australia saying you're on the radar of NRL clubs as a potential coach. I mean, is that something you're aware of? I mean, how do you sort of see your own short and medium term future? Is it with Lee?
Yeah, that's what happens, I guess, when you have that success like we had on the weekend, and I'm okay with all of that. It was a goal to coach in the NRL one day, and hopefully I'll get back there at the right time, and I'll allow the gods of rugby league dictate that. And but I do know that I'm enjoying and loving my time here. I feel as coach I've got the best job in the world, and every day when I drive in here, the support that I've got from Derek Beaumont and Chris Chester and Neil Jukes and all of my players and my leadership group is I'm a happy coach, and I love it here. So we're building something really well here, and that's why I said I think we've also our recruitment for next year and our retention. We're going to have a better team next year than what we have this year, in my opinion. And I think we have a 5-year plan here, and we're heading in the right direction, and there's more good times ahead. So I'll just stick to the day-to-day basis on that. I'll allow that NRL stuff to take care of itself, but if it's meant to go my way, I'm sure we'll have discussions of that down the future. But for now, I'm really happy here, mate. I think we've brought some great memories and great times to the people that live in Lee and our fans and supporters, and may long it continue. And I think we've still got a job to do for this year, so I'll just keep our head down and keep working hard.
Well, good luck this weekend, mate. Thank you.
Thanks, Aaron.
Hi, Adrian. It's Martin here again.
Hey, Martin.
Just congratulations once again on the weekend.
Yeah, thank you.
There has been a history. It's a strange thing winning the cup in a way, because when you win a grand final, you've got months to celebrate it in a way. Your next game is, not till the start of the following season. Winning the Challenge Cup is odd, because, you've got this game coming up on Saturday, and you've hardly got much time to celebrate as probably you'd like to. You'd probably like to go on holiday, I would imagine, and have a great break.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
It takes a lot of managing, and there's a bit of a history of some clubs winning the cup who fall away quite badly for a few weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, it's already been implied by the previous questions. So it is going to take quite a bit of managing on your part, I would suggest. And I mean, I was just sort of thinking, if I were a league player who, if I were just on the margins and hadn't been selected for the, last Saturday's game, I'd be busting a gut to want to come and prove to you that I should have been in the side, and I should be, when it comes to the playoffs and you're looking safe in them now, that I'd want to be there. So I was just looking, you've got the 3 guys who were outside the 17, Joe, Arva and Nathan. Then you've got Ollie Gildart, who obviously couldn't play. Presumably those guys might have a good chance of playing on Saturday, I imagine, might they?
Very good, Martin. Yes, you've done your homework, and that may be the case. But yeah, I've had several talks with staff, not only this week but last week leading into this. It was the similar conversations that we had against the Leeds game leading up the week before the Challenge Cup. We could have rested a few players there, and I did with Zach Hardick and Josh Charnley, who had niggly injuries, and we went there and we got the job done. So this is a top of the table clash, and it's really, really important, the outcome of this. So as much as I want to look at that as an option, the more we talk about it, it can reveal sometimes that let's just keep our head down and stick with what we've got without overcomplicating it. So, like I said, there may be 1 or 2 fresh bodies come in, and then change the mentality on how the rotation's been to just lesser time for the players that are playing. So, and then we manage the load off at training and during the week rather than on that 80-minute performance. So that's the science side we've got to take into consideration. But, like I said, Joe Wardle coming back in, Frankie Holton very soon, Jack Hughes back in. It's just we're heading in the right direction. We've just got to manage this next 2 or 3 weeks. If there is a bit of a lull, We've just got to make sure that I communicate with them and potentially give them some time off, but we'll wait and see.
It's going to be an incredible race to get to the grand final, isn't it, this year? You know, you're absolutely in the running. You've got as good a chance as anybody. You've shown you can win crucial knockout games at the end of the season, which I think is really important. I mean, presumably, you're not just going to be satisfied with being in the playoffs, but you want to go all the way and win it, as you did at Wembley, presumably.
Yeah, I think if we can get there in good shape, we're every chance. I strongly believe that, and you know, it's even okay if we travel away. I mean, we've just done 8 weeks away from home in a row. I think there was one game in 8 weeks that we were at home, and we've won, I think, 7 of those, 6 or 7 of those. So we're not. Some of our best forms have been away from home too. So, you know, the team's been briefed on all of that. We understand our situation. Obviously, again, just one step at a time. Let's just get to Captain's Run and decide what our 17 is going to be, and then let's just unload and get the great performance against Catalan. Then we'll review that and we'll move on one by one. But the bigger picture looks really daunting at the moment after such a great win and such a great week. But if we break it down step by step, that will be the key for us. So the players have been informed of that. They have clarity around that, and because of that, I think we'll be back to our best pretty soon.
Okay, mate, and good luck on Saturday, Adrian.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks very much.
Appreciate it.
Cheers, mate.
All good.
Okay, thanks, Adrian.
Oh, guys.
Thanks a lot, mate.
Who's that BBC RM Sport there? Is that?
They record.
Right.
Smile up. They're recording for us.
All right, guys.
So
No
I
worries.
ask the questions and they record.
No worries, mate.